guys, welcome back to Stories in Steam. I hope that you all had a good week with school, whether it's at home, virtually, homeschooled, or in person. We are getting ready for our next Stories in Steam. So another holiday starts this evening. So if you guys remember a couple weeks ago when I talked about Rosh Hashanah and how Jewish holidays start in the evening and then go to the next day, or some are like multiple days. So we're gonna read Sky High Sukkah by Rachel Ornstein Packer. A sukkah is, you can kind of see it here, this is a sukkah. So it's a building or a shelter. You cover the top, and Sukkot lasts 8 days. So all of your meals for all 8 days would be eaten in your sukkah. And in this book, Leah really wants a sukkah, and she's going to tell us a little bit more about what a sukkah is and why she wants one and what you do with it. So she'll have a little bit, the book will have a better explanation, all right? So after I read, I want you guys to try to build a structure out of newspaper or magazines, whatever kind of papers you guys have laying around your house, and I want you to see how many books you can get your structure to hold. Okay, so I'll do one too, so you guys can see how I do, and you guys can either pause the video, do yours, and then see what I do, and then maybe based off of what I do, like make some modifications on yours, or you can just watch it all the way through and then make some. But I want you guys to try it on your own. So don't just do exactly what I do and do it. I want you guys to think through like what you think might work. But before we do that, we're gonna read Sky High Sukkah. So this book is by Rachel Ornstein Packer, and this is Leah. Leah lived high up in an apartment building overlooking the busy world below. In the early morning, she would gaze out her window and watch the sun bathe in the city in a soft golden light. Today, however, the city was pearly gray, and Leah felt just as sad as the weather. Sukkot was coming, and Leah had no place to build a sukkah. There wasn't any backyard, and no one was ever allowed up on the apartment roof, so this meant that she had to go somewhere else to celebrate the holiday. As Leah was walking to school, she made her usual stop at Al's fruit market. She liked the way everything looked so colorful. Look at all those colors. We got red and orange and yellow and green and purple. And Al was always happy to see her. He was outside, spraying misty water on the neat rows of fruit, making them look like precious sparkly gems. Leah stood quietly watching him. "You look a little sad today," Al said. "I was just thinking these fruits would look pretty hanging in a sukkah," Leah sighed. "What's a sukkah?" Al asked. That might be something you guys are asking too. So Leah responds. "It's a special hut that we build outside for the holiday of Sukkot. We decorate it with fruits and vegetables and sparkly paper chains, and then we cover it on top with bushy green branches. At night, you can look up and see the stars shining through the branches," Leah said dreamily. "And we eat in the sukkah for 8 days. Doesn't that sound amazing?" "Yes," Al agreed. "So why are you so sad?" "We have no place to build it," Leah replied. Just then, Leah's best friend Ari ran up to her. "Check out my newest drawing," he said. The jagged buildings and rooftops reminded Leah of a giant jigsaw puzzle. "The view from my roof was awesome. Look, Al, I even drew your fruit store." Ari carefully ripped out the page and handed it to him. "This is terrific," Al said. Leah pointed at the next picture. "Al, that's a sukkah," she said. "It looks just the way you described it, Leah." "Do you have one, Ari?" "No," Ari shook his head. "I've always wanted one. Our roof is the perfect place for it, but my mom and dad say that a sukkah costs too much money." Later, Leah and Ari heard an announcement at Hebrew school about a Sukkot poster contest. The prize would be a real sukkah. Ari looked over at Leah and whispered, "This is our chance." "I can't," Leah said. "I have no place to put a sukkah. In our building, no one is ever allowed on the roof." "Don't worry," said Ari. "If I win, we'll build it on my roof and we can share it." "Thanks," Leah smiled, although she still wished she could have a sukkah of her own. Ari spent the rest of the day working on his poster. He painted a city skyscraper with a sukkah at the tippy top, bursting with leafy branches and colorful fruits and vegetables. When Leah saw the poster, she said, "You should call it Sky High Sukkah." Ari liked the title so much, he wrote it across the top. Sunday was contest day, and time seemed to tick backward as Leah and Ari waited to hear who would win. When classes were over, the principal finally announced, "The winner of the contest is Ari Fried." "I can't believe it," Ari shouted. "Come on, Leah, we have a sukkah to build." Leah and Ari were eagerly making plans to eat in the sukkah every day when Leah's mother picked them up after school. "I can't wait to tell my mom and dad," Ari said. "We're meeting them at Al's so you can tell them your good news then," Leah's mother smiled. Ari raced over to his parents. "I have a surprise. I won the sukkah poster contest at Hebrew school," Ari shouted. "That's terrific," Ari's mother exclaimed. "The prize was a real sukkah, so now we can build it on the roof. Isn't that great?" "Yes, but I'm afraid we can't accept it," Ari's father said sadly. "Why not?" cried Ari. "Because we didn't plan for it. Our storage space is just too small, and there's no room in our apartment to store all the sukkah pieces. I'm really, really sorry." "Al, could you store the sukkah?" Leah asked hopefully. "I'm so sorry. I don't have any room either," he smiled sympathetically. "Wait a minute," Leah shouted. "I have a better idea." "What?" asked Ari. "Mom," Leah looked at her mother. "If we have room in our storage space, could we store the sukkah pieces?" Leah's mother thought this over for a moment, and then she said, "Even if we could store them, the Frieds live 4 blocks away. No one here owns a car, and the sukkah has a lot of heavy pieces. How would we get them all to their roof?" "We could ask the neighbors to help," said Leah. "Then we could all share the sukkah," Ari added. When the news got out about the sukkah, lots of people volunteered to help. Some offered to build it. Others agreed to organize a special Sukkot dinner. Leah and Ari worked on paper chains to string on top and hang on the walls. Their moms bought some greens for the roof. Finally, the sukkah was finished, just in time for the holiday. Leah and Ari hung their paper chains and stepped back to admire their work. "It doesn't look anything like my sky-high sukkah poster," said Ari, shaking his head. "You're right. It looks empty," Leah sighed. "I thought there would be way more branches," Ari added. "And there aren't any hanging fruits or vegetables. The paper chains are pretty, but the sukkah looks boring without anything else." Just before sunset on Sukkot, the neighbors' excited clatter and laughter echoed through the hallways as they made their way up to the roof. Once they reached the sukkah, however, their chatter stopped. Everyone stared at the sukkah in amazement. It was spilling over with bright green bushy branches that smelled wonderfully spicy, and it was bursting with glossy vegetables and colorful fruits, and there was Al standing inside. Leah watched as he placed a large basket of crisp apples on the table. "Al, did you do all this?" Leah asked. "I knew you were disappointed when you couldn't have a sukkah of your own, so I wanted to help make this one extra special." Leah smiled. It was truly a neighborhood sukkah. "You know what, Al?" Leah said. "What?" "This is so much better than a sukkah of my own." The end. So I hope you guys enjoyed that story about the community coming together for Sukkot and how sometimes sharing things is better, even if we think we want something of our own. Sometimes it's a lot more fun when we are able to share it. So we are going to get ready to build, and I know it's not super sciencey, but it's a little bit sciencey, so I am going to get my science gear on, and then we will see what I can build. Another fun thing, if you don't want to build or you don't have enough stuff to build, what you can do is with magazine strips or with construction paper, you can make a paper chain just like Leah and Ari did. So all those paper chains, you can make something like that and then put it up in your house so that you guys have some decorations to remind you of this fun story. All right, so ready? Okay, so I have with me a whole bunch of ads and stuff. Just all the stuff that comes in the mail. So ask your parents if they hold on to this, or if they haven't been, you can start doing that so that you guys can do this. So I have a whole bunch of them. I have a roll of tape, and I've got my books to see if I can find something to stack them. So are you guys ready to see what I do? This might take a little bit of time, so instead of watching the whole thing with me talking and everything, I'm gonna set it up so that it's a time lapse, so you'll see me doing it, but it'll be in fast motion. Are you guys ready? All right. So here is my structure, so we're going to get ready to see if I can hold. So it's holding one book. I don't think it's going to hold a second one. What do you guys think? Ready? Nope. So I was able to make mine hold one book. So I want you guys to see. It was a pretty heavy book though. I want you guys to see if you can make one that holds two books, okay? Good luck. Try to make your own structures, and remember to either email those to us or comment below with pictures of your newspaper structures holding some books. I want to see how many books you guys are able to stack on top of some newspaper structure, all right? So good luck. Remember to continue to, if you haven't already, subscribe to us on YouTube, like us on Facebook, and remember to check in. We have our monthly and weekly, monthly scavenger hunts, weekly packets. If you guys haven't already gotten those, remember you can come into the library and get them, or you can call us and we will leave them at the drive-up window for you guys. So there's those two different ways you can come in, or you can stay in your car, whichever makes you and your parents the most comfortable, to get those things. And we hope to see you guys soon. Thanks for watching. Bye.